So text 47, second chapter. Karmany Evadhikaras ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhur ma te sangostva karmani. The Gita says that you might put in the work, but still you are not entitled to the results.
Yeah.
Never think yourselves to be the hetu, the sole cause of the results of your activity.
Don't think the result is only because of your effort.
Your effort. There are more than one factors that are involved when it comes to the results. When it comes to farming, for example, right? The results that you get from farming, basically the crop yield, is proportional to the hard work that the farmer puts.
Yes.
At the same time, the monsoons.
Yes. Not in your control.
Which is not in your control.
Correct.
Now, the monsoons are absolutely required, but just because things depend upon the monsoons, the farmer cannot have a laid-back attitude. The farmer has to put in the requisite effort. I was reading this book by Angela Duckworth. The name of the book is Grit. She gives 4 steps, 4 things that contributes towards a gritty attitude. The first thing is interest, second thing is practice, third thing is purpose, and the fourth thing is hope. They correspond exactly to the 4 parts of Karmany Evadhikaras verse. Work according to your psychophysical nature. Now you must have heard about Srinivasa Ramanujan.
Yes, of course.
A very renowned mathematician. So he got a fellowship and a scholarship. His mathematical genius was so exemplary that he was noticed by British mathematicians. And so he was called to London. But he can't handle even a little bit of failure. Somebody rejects your rasam, you feel your life is worthless now. Right. So when you actually reconnect the Atma with the Parmatma, the joy, the ecstasy that you experience, which is so internally fulfilling that you are able to absorb the ups and downs of life.
Pranam Prabhuji.
Pranam.
How are you this morning?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm fine, really. So Prabhuji, last episode, we basically ended after discussing about the 3 gunas, the Rajas, Tamas and the Sattvic. And you also briefly touched upon the various types of yogas. We talked about, we started with we talked about Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and of course, Karma Yoga. Really. And we basically said that, hey, chapter 2 is sort of a summary of the entire Gita. That's how we basically ended last episode. Now we get on to 247, the so-called 247, the famous 247, really. And, in the minds of us, people like me who are sort of kindergarten students, trying to study the Gita. For us, the Gita was all about 247 and nothing else. Yeah. It was sort of summary of that summary chapter. Yeah. And then the only thing about the Gita all of us seemed to be aware of really was, hey, Lord Krishna says, do your work and don't worry about the result. And it to a rational mind like what we thought we were, it sort of did not appeal. Hey, I'm doing work. Why should I not expect an outcome? Yeah, I'm doing work for a purpose. So this was always a dilemma, and it still is. So would you want to start with, first, of course, explain us what 247 is all about, and then how relevant is this dilemma and how do we get rid of this dilemma?
Yeah, it's a very interesting thing that you talked about. And I think a lot of people struggle with that dilemma. So let's begin with discussing that verse, and then I will address the issue that you're raising also.
Yes. And I'd like you to touch also upon the fact, we always thought 247 was Karmany Evadhikaras too. The first verse really. Yeah. But you taught us that, hey, there are 3 sub-verses there really. So I'd like you to touch upon those.
Yeah,
pieces.
definitely.
Yes.
So text 47, second chapter. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phala heturbhur ma te sangostva karmani. So karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Right? You have a right to perform your duty.
Correct.
Karma is your adhikar. Karmanyevadhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. But you are never entitled to the results of your activities.
Yes.
Right? So in the modern day world, entitlement is becoming a big problem.
Absolutely. Yes. I'm entitled to something, but I'm not entitled to the outcome, really.
Yeah. See, the way we understand entitlement in the modern day world is if somebody doesn't work hard enough, but still feels entitled to certain degree of respect, honor, etc., we call such a person entitled. But the Gita's standards is even stricter. The Gita says that you might put in the work, but still you are not entitled to the results.
Yeah.
So even when we put our hard work, but still we are expecting the results,
Yes.
that is also entitlement.
I see.
This is a stricter definition of entitlement given in the Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna says, this is the first line. And as you rightly pointed out, the second line is often ignored.
That's the interesting one also, the second one.
Yes. So ma karma phala heturbhur. Even when you get the results,
Yeah.
karma, when you get the karma phala,
Yeah.
Krishna is warning us, ma karma phala heturbhur. Never think yourselves to be the hetu, the sole cause of the results of your activities.
Don't think the result is only because of your effort.
Your effort.
Your karma. Really.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a revelation actually.
Yes.
Yes.
Ma karma phala heturbhur. And the fourth stage is mate sangostva karmani. Never be attached to lethargy. Never be attached to not performing your activity.
Correct.
In the sense that just because you are not the sole cause of the results of your activities doesn't mean that you're abscond from working.
Correct. Don't take an attitude, what's the point of working if I am not responsible for the output, or I should not expect any output. So I think, intuitively that needs to be rationally clarified.
It's a paradox.
It's a paradox. Yes.
The Gita gives us an in-depth understanding that when it comes to activities, there are more than one factors that are involved when it comes to the results. See, the second chapter is a summary. So everything is given in brief.
Yeah.
So Krishna is introducing this concept of Karma Yoga in the second chapter, but he elaborates on it in the future chapters. In the 18th chapter, he says that when it comes to any activity, there are 5 causes that contribute towards the result. Adhishtanam tata karta, karanam cha pratagvidam, vividascha pratakcheshta, daivam chevarta panchamam. 5 causes that contribute towards the outcome. Now, even from a common sense perspective, we always understand this, right? That just because you work hard doesn't mean that you get the result.
Absolutely, yes.
Like, for example, when I passed out of IIT, even back then, a lot of people wanted to, have their own startups. But how many people actually became successful? A very small percentage.
Yeah.
Most of the people's startups, they failed. Doesn't mean that they didn't put in the requisite effort. So there are more factors responsible for the results than solely our effort. So what are those factors? Krishna analyzes that in the 18th chapter. Adhishtanam is the first factor. The first factor is the kind of body you're born with. Adhishtanam means the place of work. Means we use this body to carry out our activities. So this is the first factor, right? if you have the right body, you will be able to perform your activities properly and get the results. Adhishtanam tata karta. Karta is the identity of being the doer of the activities. For example, if you are trying to do something in the field of banking, you should be having that identity that I'm a banker. That is karta. That sense of identity actually helps you perform your activity.
Sort of sense of ownership for that work, really.
Yes. So this is the second factor. First is the body. Second is the
Identity.
Karanam cha pratagvidam. Now, the third factor goes a little deeper. Karanam is the different kinds of senses. The senses that we possess, are they conducive for the kind of results that we are aiming for? In the sense that, do we have the requisite skill set?
Correct. Yes.
To achieve those results. Karanam cha pratagvidam. This is the third factor that contributes towards the results.
Success. Yes.
Vividas cha pratakcheshta. The different kinds of endeavor. Endeavor also contributes towards the results.
But my endeavors?
Our endeavors, yes.
Okay.
How much endeavor I am putting.
So I have the skill, but I also need to endeavor and use those skills.
Absolutely.
Correct? Okay.
So how much endeavor you put also contributes towards the results. And Daivam Chaivartha Panchavam. The fifth factor is Daiva. Higher power.
Correct.
So the higher power, based on our past karma, the higher powers decide that whether we are entitled to get the results.
So you cross the hump or you don't.
Yes.
So let me ask you a simple common man mathematical, problem really. How much weight would you typically give to each of these if you were to look at it mathematically? So is the last part the predominant one to cross over the hump?
See.
So if each one of them is 20% equally, can I get an outcome at 80% or no?
Now, I'll give you an analogy. Maybe that will help you draw out the percentage on your own. You're the banker. You're good in mathematics, So, see, when it comes to farming, for example, right? Now, the results that you get from farming, basically the crop yield, is proportional to the hard work that the farmer puts.
Yes.
At the same time, the monsoons.
Yes. Which is not in your control.
Which is not in your control.
Correct.
Now, the monsoons are absolutely required, but just because things depend upon the monsoons, the farmer cannot have a laid-back attitude. The farmer has to put in the requisite effort. And when the farmer puts in the efforts, and then it should also rain. And when both of these things go hand in hand, that's when you get the crop.
Correct.
So, the percentage wise, see, Daiva has its role to play. It's undeniable. But at the same time, that doesn't absolve us from putting in the effort in the first place.
Yeah.
See, acknowledging the role of Daiva is very important. I was hearing a very interesting TED talk by a British philosopher called Alan D. Botton. So the title of this TED talk is A Kinder, Gentler Philosophy of Success. He says there. So he brings out an interesting observation. He says that 100 years ago, he's speaking about the Western world here, in Europe, the United States perhaps. In the Western world, when a person couldn't really make it in life, such a person used to be called an unfortunate. But in today's world, when somebody is not really able to make it in life, what is such a person referred to as? Loser.
Yeah.
See, when somebody calls you an unfortunate, it's not as harsh as when somebody calls you a loser.
Yeah.
It hits you very hard.
Correct.
Because implicit within that term, loser, is understanding that
my effort.
It's
sort of me.
The results solely depend upon you.
Yeah. Yes.
But when you call somebody an unfortunate, implicit within that word is understanding that you put in your effort, but then
Daivam came
came into the picture.
Yeah.
So when you have this healthy understanding of Deva also playing its due role, what happens is you are able to handle failure better. And you are able to handle success also better. Because when success comes, you don't think that I am the sole cause of the results, and you don't become arrogant.
Yeah.
You understand that I put in the effort and a lot of other people also put in their effort.
Yeah.
So you don't demean others. You have an humble attitude. You are very modest.
Yeah.
Even at the end of success. Just because Deva favored me doesn't mean that I have to become arrogant.
Correct.
All of them also put in their effort. You acknowledge that. So it's a very beautiful understanding, which is a fact also. Right?
I remember an incident which you narrated earlier. When the war is over and Krishna asks Arjuna to step down from the chariot first. So if you can just narrate that, I think it was a very interesting one.
Yes. So normally at the end of any day's war, Krishna, as a Sarathi, he used to get down from the chariot first, and then he used to hold the hand of Arjuna to assist him in getting down.
Yeah.
And on the last day of the war, Krishna told Arjuna, you get on first. And Arjuna was a little confused.
Ego problem for him, really.
Maybe, I don't know. So Arjuna got down first, and then Krishna got down from the chariot. And as soon as Krishna got down from the chariot, the chariot exploded into bits and pieces. And Arjuna was awestruck. What exactly happened here? So Krishna said that you are putting in your best efforts all through the 18 days. But there are so many other astras that I was protecting you against. And they were all stored. The power of all those astras were stored. And all of them exploded one go right now.
Correct. Yeah.
So, see, that's very important to understand, that we have to put in our effort, but then there is Daiva, which also contributes towards the results. See, now, I was reading this book by Angela Duckworth. The name of the book is Grit. Right? So, the entire book is about how to develop a gritty attitude in life. So, she gives the argument there that skill is just half the story. Unless you put in the requisite effort, unless you have that gritty attitude, it's not always easy
What you mentioned about the fourth one, endeavor, probably. That is probably some sort of grit.
Grit.
Isn't it?
Yes. So she says, how to develop grit? She gives 4 steps, 4 things that contributes towards a gritty attitude. The first thing is interest. Second thing is practice. Third thing is purpose. And the fourth thing is hope. And these 4 they correspond exactly to the 4 parts of Karmanyavadikaraste verse. I'll explain this to you now. See, Karmanyavadikaraste, as I said, doing your duty is your right. That is one way of understanding this. But another way of understanding Karmanyavadikaraste, the word adhikar also means work according to your psychophysical nature. Adopt a vocation or a profession that falls in line with what you feel comfortable with.
Yeah, which suits you.
Which suits you.
Yeah.
According to your adhikar, according to your comfort level, you choose a karma for yourself. So this corresponds to what she calls interest. So Karmanyavadikaraste, Krishna makes it very clear. According to your psychophysical nature, you have to choose your occupation, Karmanyavadikaraste. So he is indirectly telling Arjuna that you want to escape from the battlefield. But as a Kshatriya, that won't suit you. Escapism won't suit you. Now you have to carry out your duty like you're a Kshatriya. You have to fight. So Karmanyavadikaraste. And Ma Phaleshu Kadachana. Never be attached to the results of your activities. The second part. This corresponds to purpose. Now, to be artificially detached from results of your activities is not easy.
Very difficult.
It's very difficult. See, when
I think the subtlety, if I try and understand, is you mentioned attached to the results versus expecting a result. In my mind, I always thought I do work and I expect an outcome. You're saying don't be attached to the result. Which
Absolutely.
is a very subtle difference.
You got it right.
Yeah.
It's a very subtle difference there. So when you're putting in your effort, naturally you're expecting some results
Yes.
out of it.
Yes.
See, unless you are expecting some results, where's the impetus to plan?
Yeah, I agree.
You're putting your best of plans and you're putting in all your efforts with the expectation of an outcome, but you don't have expectation for yourselves. This is the trick here. You're not attached. You're not having a selfish attachment. You're expecting those results to serve a purpose that is larger than you.
Yeah.
This is what a purpose-driven life is all about. To have a sense of purpose.
Correct.
Something that is larger than you. That sense of purpose could be community, nation, humanity.
Yeah.
Or ideally speaking, that sense of purpose should be service to God. Because when you have service to God,
whichever microcosm you choose.
yes. When you have service to God, that is an all-encompassing purpose. That includes everything else. When you serve God, included within it is environmentalism. Because you always acknowledge that the environment is part of God, right? It's being created by God.
Yeah.
Humanitarianism is also part of God consciousness. So when you're God conscious, you see all living entities as your brothers and sisters, as a part and parcel of God, and you naturally feel an obligation to serve everybody. So the point here is that purpose-driven attitude. You're expecting the result. You're working hard for that results, but you don't have a selfish attachment for that results.
I agree.
So this is a sense of purpose.
I think that's a subtle, interesting difference.
So one thing is interest, second thing is purpose. And the third thing Krishna mentions is Ma karma phala heturbhu. Never think yourself the sole cause of the results of your activities.
Yeah.
So when you think you're the sole cause of the results of your activities, what happens is, suppose you don't get the results. You become hopeless. Why? You feel like I put in 100%
and nothing happened.
Yeah. But if you have this higher understanding that there are other factors that contribute towards your success, especially Daiva, so then you'll have hope. This time when I put in my best efforts, Daiva didn't favor me. But maybe the next time I put in the best efforts, maybe Daiva will favor me in the future. So there is an impetus to try again and again and again and again, because you always know that the Daiva factor might turn around to favor you in the future.
Correct. And if I look at it conversely, the opposite also works. If I think the outcome was entirely because of my effort, it probably makes me overconfident, egoistic.
Yes.
And I think I can always succeed continuously, which may not necessarily happen.
Absolutely. That's a very beautiful point that you brought up.
Yeah.
So this contributes towards hope.
Yeah.
Part 3, right? You're always hopeful.
Correct.
It doesn't make you lazy. See, if you depend entirely on Daiva, definitely it's going to make you lazy.
Why the hell should I work then?
Yes.
God will take care either way in any case.
That's not the message of the Bhagavad Gita. That's not the message of the Vedas either. The Vedas recommend, and even the Gita recommends, a hybrid attitude. Both your karma contributes and Daiva also contributes. Just like the farmer.
Yes.
He has to work hard, at the same time has to depend on
monsoons.
Yeah. Correct. So, Ma karma phala heturbur mate sangostva akarmani. So she speaks about practice. The fourth factor which contribute towards grit. So these four are beautifully explained in this particular verse. And I think, it was wonderful. Anything more you'd like to add?
No, I think that's fine. I think that's a better understanding. See, the second part of it is reasonably easy to understand. The first part of it, I think, was the more complex one. Yes. And I think you mentioned it rightly. It's really the difference between expecting, and, saying that it is not dependent on you, really. Yes.
So, the next verse, it's equally interesting. Yogastak kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva samatvam yogamuchyate. So Krishna is telling, perform your karma as a yogi. So in this particular verse, Krishna actually defines yoga,
I see.
right? What is yoga?
Mm-hmm.
What is yoga? Krishna is explaining here. So, yogastha kuru karmani, situated in yoga, do your duties. Sangam tyaktva dhananjaya, being detached from the results of your activities. Correct? Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva, being equipoised both in the phase of success and in the phase of failure. Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva.
Don't get carried away either way.
Either way.
Whether you succeed or you don't succeed.
Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva. Samatvam yogam uchyate. Samatvam, this equanimity is yoga.
Is yoga.
Yoga is equanimity, Krishna is telling here.
Equipoise.
Being equipoised in the phase of success, in the phase of failure also. See, it's like being a karma yogi is like riding on a potted Mumbai road. Right? So, when you're driving on a potted Mumbai road, can you do anything much about the roads?
No.
Not really much, isn't it? But then what you can definitely do is change the kind of car that you're driving. If you have the perfect car with you, then even though you might be riding on a bumpy road, internally you are unshaken.
Yeah.
The road might be going up and down. It might be taking you up and down all the time. But situated within that luxury car, you're not going up and down. Why? Because the suspension of the vehicle is very wonderful.
Absorbing, yeah.
That's
the difference between a Merc and an Ambassador. Both work on Bombay roads, I guess.
Yes.
Or Calcutta roads for that matter.
So, Krishna is telling that you have to change your internals, your innards, your consciousness, so that you become a better shock absorber.
Yeah, I think that's the key one, right?
This is what yoga is all about. Transforming your inner self such that you are equipoised both in the phase of success and failure.
So it's a shock absorber as well as a benefit absorber. Both really. Success and failure, both you can, sort of absorb properly. Yes. That's what you were saying is really yoga's definition.
Yes. Now, how do we understand this? Because most of the time, it's common sense knowledge that when we have success, we tend to get carried away by it. When we go through failure, we get pulled down by it. Now, even Arjuna, for that matter, during the war of Kurukshetra, even after he had heard and understood the Bhagavad Gita, when the war broke out, and during the war, when his son Abhimanyu died, Arjuna cried bitterly. He felt emotional. He felt dragged down because of emotions, because his son died, and that's natural. That's human emotions. But the test of whether he was actually a yogi or not came the next day. If he wasn't a yogi, he wouldn't have fought the next day. And because he was an ideal karma yogi, the next day he went on the battlefield and he fought. See, being emotionally affected is natural. See, the Gita doesn't speak about stoicism. See, being a human being, we have emotions. Can't be denied.
Yes.
But those emotions shouldn't affect our decisions.
They should not carry you away. Right?
They can't carry you away.
You cannot avoid the emotion, but don't get carried away by the emotions. Right?
Yes, absolutely. So I'll just tell you a small story here, which will give us some kind of an insight into how to understand this particular verse. Now, you must have heard about Srinivasa Ramanujan.
Yes, of course.
Right? A very renowned mathematician. So, he got a fellowship and a scholarship. Even though, he was born and raised in British India, his mathematical genius was so exemplary that he was noticed by British mathematicians. And so, he was called to London. And this was about the time of the First World War. So there's a very interesting incident when he was in Cambridge, right? He was given a private quarters to stay, and he used to cook his own meals. So one of his friends was coming to visit him. I think his name was Chatterjee or something, some Bengali person. He, his fiancée, and fiance's friend, three of them, they came to visit him, and he had invited them for dinner. So Ramanujan had prepared South Indian meal. So he served them sambar, rice, and all these things, and then rasam. And they enjoyed it. And then he came for second serving. And the second time when he came for serving rasam, this Chatterjee, he took second serving, but the other two, they denied. And Ramanujan, he went inside with the rasam. Then he came out of the kitchen. He went out of the quarters. And then he disappeared. So the three guests, they're waiting for Ramanujan to return. They wait for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. He's nowhere to be seen. So finally, they feel that those days there was no mobile phone to check out, right? So they left. And after 3 or 4 days, when Chatterjee, he gets a call from Ramanujan. And Chatterjee asks him, what exactly happened the other day? So Ramanujan said that when I came to serve rasam the second time and those two people
denied it.
When they denied it, I felt a sense of failure.
I see.
My rasam was rejected.
Rejected.
And to escape from that, he went downstairs. He had 5 pounds in pocket. And he found a taxi there. And he asked the driver, with 5 pounds, how far can you take me? I want to escape from this scene. And he said, I can take you till Oxford. So he went to Oxford. And still he was in Oxford, and he was asking his friend to wire him some money so that he can return back to Cambridge. Now, the biographer of Srinivasa Ramanujan's biography, his name is Robert Canigal. So he makes an interesting point here. He says, see, if you know this, Srinivasa Ramanujan in his 30s, he returned to India and then he died out of tuberculosis actually. So he says that his body had started deteriorating while he was in London itself. See, it's common sense knowledge, right? Mind over body. And Ramanujan as such, he was like a more introverted personality. He wasn't a very social person. And especially because of the First World War, he couldn't meet freely with his friends in Cambridge also. So he was cut off from his friends and he was cut off from his family during this time. And he was newly wedded before he went for London. And he used to receive letters from his wife every now and then. And those letters also stopped coming during that period. So Srinivasa Ramanujan was deprived of love. He was deprived of affection, human warmth. That through relationships, the warmth and the kind of affection,
feeling of oneness, proximity, ownership.
That
I'm loved by someone.
That he was missing, and that kind of affected him so badly. And the first symptoms was he was growing more bipolar, in the sense that he was not able to handle success or failure with an equipoise attitude. So this is the extreme example of Srinivasa Ramanujan, right? Yeah. A very successful mathematician, but he can't handle even a little bit of failure. Somebody rejects your rasam, you feel your life is worthless now.
Correct. Yeah.
He's not able to handle it. Why? Because he was love deprived. So, if you understand this verse, yoga actually is about reconnecting the Atma with the Parmatma.
I see.
So when you actually reconnect the Atma with the Parmatma, the joy, the ecstasy that you experience, which is so internally fulfilling that you are able to absorb the ups and downs of life. So yoga on the one hand is about detachment, but on the other hand, yoga is about attachment, internal attachment. When you're internally attached, when you're internally anchored to the Parmatma, then you're able to handle
vicissitudes of life.
Yes, more in a better way. So this I thought I would share with you.
So very good, very good.
So we can continue with the other verses in our next session then?
Yes, let's do it in the next one. But I think these two, like I said, chapter 2 was summary, and these two verses were summary of summary, the précis of the summary itself.
Yes.
So it was important. And that what I mentioned about the dilemma in my mind, and you put it very rightly. Really. Yeah.
No, you also contributed towards the answer, actually, to be very honestly speaking.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Verse 47 is my favorite, and until recently, practically my only understanding of what the Gita was about. Prabhuji brings about an important distinction between expecting an outcome and attachment to the outcome. If you do your work diligently, it is but natural to expect an outcome, but don't get attached to the outcome. Similarly, remember that the outcome is not entirely your doing. There are forces beyond your control which also go towards deciding whether you get your outcome or not. But you need to continue doing your work. Don't not do work because the outcome is not in your control.